when you walk in with God next to you, or you're a different man. It's a different vibe. It's a different aura. So if she was there through my worst, bro, she definitely deserves me at my best. That's why I had her here. I have her here. Like, I want you to be part of that because I need you to understand, like, because of you, I wouldn't be where I'm at right now.
Welcome back to Two Karen Gents, where real stories meet real people. Today's episode is going to be unique. It's going to be different than last week's and the weeks before that. So I really hope you enjoy listening. And please comment below and let us know of any topics you want to talk about or input you want to hear.
You talked a little bit, the family and the addiction and the support. And then I wanted you to kind of get into how you got into barber and what that life is like and how you're supporting the youth and how you're being that example to the youth and take what I've learned and apply it to you now instead of going through what I've learned yourself and having those setbacks and just be ahead that much more.
Well, me, bro, like, man, because like me, bro, like throughout my whole life, I always been like the creative guy, and I thought that everybody had that gift, but then come to find out that not a lot of people have it. So whenever I would think of something, I would go deep into it, like out into my research or whatever what is, So I used to love art, So in high school, I used to take all the art classes, and the art clubs and all that, and I would draw a whole bunch of, I thought everybody would have the same skill, but come to find out, we see everybody's thing. I'm like, mine looks a lot better, And then my dad, then my dad would be so proud, My dad would show all his people at work, but it's something, bro, that at that time I took for granted, because I thought that that's what dads do to all the kids, But then I found out that a lot of dads don't do that, He was like, yeah, he'll show all my artwork, man. And I was like, man, well, I'm actually good. He'll hang them up, And I was like, but at the time, bro, I didn't think no significance of it, Until I just thought that that's what everybody did, And as I got older, I was to hit high school and I didn't know what to do with my life. I was like, dude, I definitely can't box, because I'm like, I'm a good boxer, but my heart's not in it. I'm talking about, like, I'm not dedicated like Crawford, like Crawford, man. I boxed for Downtown Boxing Club, man, and Crawford boxed for CW, what I'm like, and that's so, like, I will see him go up, and that guy was dedicated, I'm talking about. He was there on the gym, practicing. And me, bro, I was like slacking, I was trying to cut corners on training, this and that. And so when I was in the ring, man, I would lose that breath, and I'm like, I couldn't breathe because I wasn't dedicated like that, But I loved it. But I think I used it as a step stool, man, to learn how to fight, to defend myself. Because I feel like growing up, I got picked on a lot, And then that turned into football. I was too short, but I love hitting people, So I love going full speed, man. And we'll see who gets knocked out, who gets a concussion, at the end. Especially kickoff. Kickoff is my favorite, bro. I'm going full speed at you, man. Yeah. And I'm going, man, and it will suck when I will miss, boom, and he would like juke me and I boom. But when I make that contact, man, I would love it, and all the crowd would go, I got that became really addictive. But then I found out that once I got to graduating, that I couldn't be a football player, for the rest of my life. So then I was like, what can I do with art, tomorrow? And I was like, tattoos, I can do tattoos, But then something in my heart, man, saying, okay, I can do tattoos, but it doesn't align with God. And by that, bro, I mean, like, you can have your own perspective on if it's good or bad, But at the time, I knew that it was wrong, It was wrong because of the little that I knew about the Bible at the time, Like, it just pulled my heart saying, okay, like, it might be good, it might be bad. I might use all these excuses to make it good, saying, well, I don't mark my body for something bad. Each thing represents a time that I was going through, a tough time or a happy time, Like, each thing represents that to me, And I would make that as an excuse, saying, okay, that's why I do it, But after I was doing tattoos, man, I loved it, bro. I love tattooing. But then that slowly became, I started accepting things for work, because during wintertime, it was very slow, So people would come with TVs, some people come with brand new stuff, And I was like, yeah, I'll take it. And then one day, man, those things became drugs, So like, well, I got this pound of weed. Let me get my whole bag done. Well, instead of me sitting there doing nothing, I might as well, you know. Or he goes an ounce of cocaine, man. You know, I'm like, all right, you know. And slowly you get into a position that I'm a drug dealer now because now you gotta get rid of this for money to pay your rent,
Yeah.
you know. And so slowly, man, I became a drug dealer, you know. And I'm like, so when I got caught up, man, it was just like, dude, how did I get here? I
Yeah.
was tattooing one day, selling drugs the next, and then prison the next day. You know, so I'm just like, dude, like, how did I get here? You know, like, just I don't know, man. It just snaps on you, saying, okay, man, like, but that's how fast your life can turn. You know, so like, if you make one wrong decision, it'll lead to a different wrong decision. If you don't have God in your life, bro, I really feel like those decisions become real fast, real bad, real quick. You know,
Yeah.
because you're saying, yeah, I'll take that, take that, and then later on, you're like, yeah, I'm up, I got all this stuff. But before you realize it, bro, you're in prison, you know? But if you had God in the beginning, if I would actually I listened to God, God was like, man, you should have never been here. But since I love you so much, I'm gonna give you free will. I'm gonna let you go that path. But at the end, understand that whatever decision you make is gonna glorify me because regardless if you like it right now or tomorrow, you will do my will, you know? Because I was marked, bro, by God by very long, like probably 13, 14 years old, you know. I was marked by God telling me that He had a big purpose for my life, you know, that I was going to change a lot of souls, you know. But it's up to me if I'm going to do it now at 13 or 14 or later on when I'm older. Me being hard headed, I chose.
The later
I'll do it
part.
later, you know, guys.
Yeah.
It's cool. I'll do it later, you know. But I was marked at that time, you know, because this pastor, bro, didn't. This pastor didn't ever. He didn't know me. He was a preacher from Puerto Rico, man. And my mom was begging me to go to his sermon that he was gonna give. And I'm like, no, mom, you know, I don't want to. She knows I was selling drugs, you know, because that's when at the time I was selling the drugs for money. I was tattooing, and she knew that I wasn't doing good, you know. And she's like, come on, mijo, come on, give me a come kiss. I'm like, all right, mom, I'm gonna go with you just so you don't bug me no more. And then I remember, bro, clearly that they were how you say it, doing worship, right? And they were worshiping, you know. And all of a sudden he says, hey, turn on the music. And he looked right at me. He's like, your name's Angel, right? And I'm like, me? Like, oh, my mom probably told him that, you know. And my mom probably told him who I am, you know.
Moms.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. He's
We
like,
all have
yeah,
them.
exactly.
We all know them.
Yeah, exactly. You know, like my mom probably talked to him before, like, oh man, it's gonna be embarrassing, you know. But when he got me, man, because when he told me, he's like, you could have died 11 times and you're still alive. Not even my mom knows that answer, bro. Like not even my mom knows that number because I didn't tell her most of the times I almost died because I didn't want her to upset her or worry about me. She already worried. Her having diabetes, bro, is because of me because she worries so much about me, you know. So that's something that he told me as well. He's like, your mom has diabetes because of you, you know, because she worries a lot about you, you know. And she told me, he's like, you could die 11 times and you're still alive. He's like, God has you alive for a reason, you know, for a reason, you know. And if you don't change your life, he's like, your best friend has a bullet with your name on it, you know. But back then, bro, it was like metaphor. It's a metaphor, you know, because my best friend, he's like, you're gonna do a lot of time in prison, you know. You're gonna go to prison, basically, you know. And he was like, but back then, bro, I was like, I couldn't understand what he was really saying. I just knew that maybe I was gonna die, you know. But if you understand what he just said, he's like, you could have died many times, and he has not let you die. So that told me that at the future I was not gonna die, you know. So it's gonna something bad's gonna happen back, basically, you know. And yeah, bro, you know, I didn't listen to him. You know, he gave me the exact. He's like, it's up to you if you want to change your life, but regardless if you do it now or later, your will fulfill His will, you know. And yeah, bro, it just became I'll do it later, you know. A couple
Yeah.
years later happened. That's when I went to prison because my best friend was driving. He just got back from the plug's house, you know, pick up some marijuana, and he was driving crazy. They pulled him over. You know, he was a retired Air Force. You know, so they got him. You know, on the drugs. You know, and he rolled on all of us. You know, but at the same time, bro, that was such a blessing. You know, because if it wasn't for him doing what he did, you know, I would have never learned how to respect my elders, be a man of my word, because prison taught me that, you know,
Mhm.
if you owe something, you better pay that money on that date, you know, or something's gonna happen, you know. And I had my own little store, you know, and I sold a bunch of little Debbie's and cold sodas, you know, that was my hustle, you know, to get my protein bars, you know. But yeah, bro, that happened. I landed in prison, you know. I did 3 years in prison and the federal over there in um Rochester, Minnesota. That's where I was at. That's my
okay.
yeah. And so
State.
yeah, federal. And so what happened, bro, is that but you can see, bro, like another pastor came up to me and told me, he's like, don't be afraid. He's like, you're gonna go to prison. But God's gonna be with you in prison, you know. And I was like, man, that's not what I want to hear right now. I want to hear, you know, like, you know, that's not, you know, how I'm gonna get ready for this, you know. So I was watching Lockup, watching every day, bro, every day watching Lockup, trying to get as much information, you know, because I knew the only thing I knew, bro, is that I couldn't let people punk me out. That's the only thing I knew.
Yeah.
You know, that if somebody comes up to me, I gotta punch him in the face. You know?
Yeah.
And then that's gonna add more time to you, you know? So like that's the only thing I knew. So I was watching Lockup, watching all these shows, you know, trying to prepare myself. But as soon as I got there, bro, the CEO told me right away, he's like, man, out of the 15 years that I've been at this facility, I have never saw somebody go straight to this unit, you know? And this unit was with the air conditioning unit, you know, where all the it was nice, cool, you know.
Yeah.
All the ones didn't have that, you know. They were out in the heat, you know, with
And
a
you
big
had to earn it to get to their condition.
exactly,
But
yeah.
you went straight.
I went straight there, and so he told me, he's like, hey, it's cool. Hey, yo, it's probably they're probably gonna move you in a month or two because we're overpacked, you know. I spent my whole bid there, bro. My whole bid was in there, you know.
Wow.
And so he was so surprised, bro, that I didn't get moved out, you know. So that told me, bro, right there, bro, it was like the closest that I've been. When people say, bro, I walked alongside with God, it's a difference between that and yeah, I have God with me. You know, when you walk alongside God, bro, it's like He's with you. Like I will test him, bro. You know, God's not a toy. You know, he will. I will test him. You know, because I told him, God, I know before I came here, I didn't believe in you. You know, told him, so I need you to please let me know that you exist, that you're alive, that you're there. You know. And I'm like, God, if you're really there, send me a bluebird, and boom, a blue jay will pop up. You know. Coincidence, you know. I was like, send me a red bird and a cardinal will pop up, you know. I'm all right, God. That's it, you know. But at the exact moment, you know, tomorrow that I will say it, you know, and man, bro, like I had one goal, and my goal was to, by the time I left, I wanted to weigh 180. I was 270 pounds when I went in there,
Damn.
you know.
Yeah.
And that day, bro, the
Awesome.
day that I left, I went to go weigh myself. I was 180 on the dot, you know.
Man, can't
So
make that up, man.
yeah, you can, bro. You know what I'm saying? So like God was with me, bro, the whole entire time, you know. But I did, as many other people will, you know, I made tons of promises to him. When I get out, God, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, and I failed. You know, I didn't keep none of my promises. I walked my own path again. You know, he was like, all right, you want to go that way? Okay, you know, I'm gonna love you so much, I'm gonna let you go that way. But again, whatever you do, I'm gonna bring you back, and it's gonna glorify me. You know, and that's when my addiction happened. You know, that's when it happened when, you know, my loss of my dad, you know, and also like it was just a lot of stuff that was happening, bro, you know, and I was like, how do I overcome this, you know? Because you gotta understand, bro, when you do any drug there is, that there's consequences on doing that drug, you know what I'm talking about? Like some people are addicted to weed, you know, like they cannot stop smoking weed, you know? Some people can, you know, I could drop, I stopped smoking weed like this, you know, but now everybody's like that, you know? But what drug are you going to choose at the moment? You know, it's going to be meth. It's going to be heroin, fentanyl. What? You have to understand, bro, that the drug is going to grab you and devour you. You understand that? Like any drug is going to grab you because that's what the enemy uses for you to get distracted, to get you off the purpose of what God has intended for your life. You know what I'm talking about? And so that led me to, again, like going back, selling drugs, landed in prison. But these are all my decisions with not me having God number one, you know?
Yeah.
I could avoid all that. And if I would just listen to that pastor, you know, if I would listen to that pastor that one time said, change your life now, I would avoid all that. But I didn't. But again, I overcame all that, and now I'm glorifying him because I overcame all that, you know? But
Yeah.
I wish, bro, that I can just touch a kid, you know, and let them feel all my experiences at that moment. Boom. You know, that way they don't have to go through all it because you lived it. Because I think that's why a lot of youth, bro, they fall into drugs because they think that they're smarter than anybody, or just to prove your parents wrong. You know, I'm gonna go smoke some weed just because I hate my dad. But you don't understand that you're not causing your dad anything. It's you. You're the one who's gonna be, hopefully not, but an addict, you know, or homeless in the future. You know, your dad already got a career. Your dad already got making money. Your dad already got a home. You're the one that has barely starting, you know. Understand that the moment you try any drug, your brain chemistry is going to change. And if your homework is hard at that time, it's gonna get 10 times harder. Understand that, you know? A lot of our youth, bro, don't sit there and actually think before they do stuff. You know what I'm talking about? I have a lot of problems, like that with my kids, bro. I'm like, before you do anything, just think about it. Just think about it. Take a moment. Okay, what's gonna happen if I make this decision? You know, what's gonna happen? What are the consequences? You know, good, bad. You know, is my dad gonna get mad, or does it bring integrity? Does it bring shame to the family? Always ask those questions before you do any decision in your life. You know, but the youth, bro, it's like now it's just like just make decisions like an AK-47, bro. Boom, 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 boom. You know, they're making wrong decisions. And when are you gonna learn that without God, you're not gonna be able to make no right decision? You need to put Him first in everything, bro. I wasn't. You could say an atheist. You know, I didn't believe in God. I believe that the government had that in order for us to keep in line. You know, it was basically
What
a
age were
government.
you when you had that? Like
I was like 20, 21.
after
You know,
you'd been marked.
after I've been marked.
So you're in church and you get marked at 13, 14.
Yeah.
And then 8 years, 10 years
Yeah,
later.
because my friend, bro, he introduced a documentary called the Zygus Report. Don't ever watch that,
Okay.
because the Zygus Report, bro, will go into depth on how the government made this religion and all that in order to keep us in order. So when I went to prison, bro, I didn't believe in God no more. You know, I believed that it was just like that. You know, so I was doing decisions, and my life got bad, really bad. You know,
Yeah.
because now I was hurting people, bro. I was doing stuff that I wasn't supposed to be doing. Robbing people, all kinds of stuff, bro, that I could have ended up more in jail if I would have got caught, you know?
Yeah.
And it was just by God's grace, bro, I'm still here, you know, to like, I could have got more time, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, bro, it's like I didn't believe in God no more, even though I about marked. So that makes me think, bro, even though I was marked, right? And I knew God existed at the time because He gave me the exact number I could have died 11 times,
The pastor knew that.
Yeah. Even though I went through that, bro, I still didn't believe in God. So imagine somebody, bro, a kid.
Yep.
Imagine a kid that hasn't even heard about God.
Mhm.
So that's why I feel, bro, like they're so lost. Their souls, bro, are so right now in danger. You know, in danger
Yep.
because that they want you to try drugs. They want you to don't like to try drugs and think all about money. You know, but money is just a tool, man.
Yeah.
Don't fall in love with it. You know,
Yeah.
yeah, it's good, but use it. And but again, you know, it's just the youth, bros, right now is like it's in danger. You know.
But they need you and you're going to start, man. Like I can already feel it. Like we already talked about, we're going to partner up on some stuff together, man. And I think that's your next phase in life. Like you've shown up, like you're here, man. And like the youth need to hear from somebody that's been through it. And, every time I go and talk at the youth correction center, dude, all they want to know about Angel is money.
Right.
And I have the same message for them that I think you will, is that, dude, you are running a race that has no good ending.
Yep.
It-
Only two things: either you end up in jail or 6 feet under.
Yeah.
There's only two outcomes I've ever seen. You know, when people are young, that they get blessed, like with the lottery. You know, they get all this money that they didn't earn. You know,
Yep.
it becomes a curse real quick. You
Yeah.
know, but if you sit there, bro, and actually use it as a tool, it's different. You know, your mind has a change, bro. All this music videos, all these rappers, it's all about money, 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 money. And this, but you ask any of those rappers, bro, are you truly happy?
Yeah.
You have all this money. Are you happy? They're like, no. They will tell you no because everybody's out to get them.
Yeah.
And they're all out to get them. They're all talking smack. They can't go out there without bulletproof vests because look
The
at
next one.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
It's just look all these rappers that died, bro. You know?
I think a beautiful thing you said earlier, brother, is like just when you feel at peace and you feel happy is when you're sitting at home.
Exactly.
With your wife.
Content.
Yes.
Content.
And we talk about that too. Like the most beautiful things that we've created, man, is we've created these little human beings that we get the ability to like just mold and create, right? And to have somebody that's never gonna get that opportunity because why is it the community that you're surrounded by, man? Like, you start hanging out with the wrong, like is it just the wrong influences that start to send you down a path?
Me, bro, I really feel like what made me change to a pass, bro, because I wanted to be cool. You know what I'm talking about? I wanted to be the cool. I wanted people to accept me, you know, because I was, but I kind of feel, bro,
Why?
just because I wanted to be part of I was part of the football, you know, Burke
So
High
that was
School.
your belonging.
Yeah. But I felt that it wasn't enough. I felt like, you know, people still picked on me, you know, and still trying to cheese me, you know, because I had big old glasses or I was fat, you know, and I felt like I had to join sports, you know, for me to become something, you know.
Yeah.
But I really believe like the acceptance, you know, acceptance from my peers, I guess you can say, you know, my other students, you know, or having the girls, you know, like girls over. But if I would have sat back, bro, and because now, bro, now that I look at my life, right now where I'm at, I'm 39 years old, right? And I look back at those people that were popular in high school,
Yeah.
bro.
How's that going?
Man, bro, I'm telling you, all the girls
Yeah.
that are really popular have like 8 kids now and like 5 baby daddies, you know? Well, you know, I'm not talking, it's just how it is.
Brother,
And
so-
and now the football players, bro, the football players that were very popular at the moment,
Yeah.
now look at the geeks. The ones that were actually studying, they
Yep.
got businesses, bro. They
Yep.
got businesses. They got money, you know,
Yep.
and all that, you know, and they use it for a good cause.
Yep.
Because they know how it was when they were growing up, you know, and because they didn't get that attention, you know, the popular attention, they became to strive to do better because they went into education, you know.
Yep.
They had nothing to, how you say it, like to get you off of your course. you know?
Yeah. And I think
They had the
that's what-
parents, and that's it. You know?
Right.
And their parents were like, school. And they're like, all right, to make them happy? Okay.
And it's back to what society tells you, man. So I'll share one with you. Like my freshman year of high school, I was like 170 pounds, like 5'8".
Yeah.
And I was doughy.
Yeah.
Like I tried to play football.
Yeah.
And we're all from Nebraska. We don't throw the ball here, right?
Yeah.
We run the ball.
Yeah.
So I ran the ball for 1 year as a freshman in high school, and like I couldn't outrun anybody. So I was like a tackling dummy.
Yeah.
I got crushed. So I felt so much pressure from being the doughy fat kid as a freshman in high school that I stopped eating in the summer between my freshman and sophomore year, and didn't really. I mean, I knew what I was doing but I wasn't like making a like I'm not gonna eat like I was anorexic or like I don't know. But I put so much pressure on myself that I went from being at my physical when I was a freshman, like 5'8", 170, like 170, 165. I show up to my sophomore physical and I'm 5'10", 5'11", and a $140.
Also, you lost.
And the
Yeah.
doctor pulls my mom out of the office and he's like, we need to have a conversation because something's wrong with him.
Yeah.
Right. But what I'm getting at, man, is what like society,
Pressure.
even at such a young age, like what the normative is. And I was in the same place. I had a really good group of friends my freshman year.
Yeah.
Like, I still think about that, but I wanted to be in this group. And I watched this group over here, which dude, the group that I was like, I'm best friends with some of those people still to this day.
Yeah.
But the group that I was with was just fine. And I think Angel, what I would beg of youth, and when I'm with the youth and when we're talking to youth, you know, where again, you're accepted and different of what you look like, what you sound
Yeah.
like. It's the church,
Yeah.
right? That's where I wish I would have leaned in on more.
Yeah.
And it wasn't my parents' fault. It's like I wanted to be cool.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
But
wanted to fit in, you know?
Yeah, but you think about had we gotten more connected with our church, and
Yeah.
I think our church does an
Yeah.
amazing job with that. But it was just being accepted. Like you
Yeah.
just wanted to be accepted.
So if that, bro, like being acceptance was hard back then, imagine now, bro. Imagine, because, bro, I'll go in there and they'll make fun of me. You know, why you fat? You know, or why is this? And I'm like, man, these little kids. So I can only imagine what they're doing to my daughter and my son. You know?
Yeah.
So imagine, bro. Like imagine, but it's all part of the enemy's plan, bro. That's what he does.
Who's
you know?
the enemy?
That's the devil, man. That's what he does. He's trying to get you off your purpose. He's trying to make you feel bad for yourself, to make you make the wrong decisions. You know.
I wanted you to say it out loud because
Yeah.
I've heard you say it a couple times.
Oh yeah, to me, every time I
wait,
refer to the enemy, it's the devil. you
Yeah,
know?
and
I don't really think that he deserves me saying the devil. That's why I say the enemy.
Oh
you know?
no,
Yeah.
no.
That's why I do it, because he to me he's nothing. You know, like that's why I don't even glorify him to be saying his name.
You just even
Just
say
like
it, I
no
know.
credit.
Just like the
I-
drugs too. The drugs, bro. I said it once, you know, but I really don't. I just say drugs, you know, because I really feel that they don't deserve no credit, you know, at all.
I appreciate you saying
Yeah.
the name out loud, because
Yeah.
I wanted somebody listening to this to realize that there is a supernatural power that is after you.
It is.
And I think that can be therapeutic when you understand.
Yes.
that
The
it's like,
faster
why-
you understand that, bro, the younger you are that you understand that, the better off in life you're going to be, because it's true. You can make the research yourself. I did it. I didn't believe in it. I went deep into research, and there's proof out there. Just look for it. There's proof. God does exist.
Yep.
He does exist.
Yep.
He does exist. Just look for the research.
Yeah.
Now, if you're lazy, you don't want to look into it, or it's because you have to change, you don't want to make that difference, that's on you, you know? But the research is there. The evidence is there, you know? And God does exist, bro. Me, I can't, you know, I cannot say God doesn't exist, because once he makes his life, his presence known, bro, you cannot turn away from him no more, you know?
Well, and adding up the pieces that have happened in your life.
Yeah, exactly.
You can't.
You can't, bro. Like, it's just too
and
much.
you can't explain
know?
it. I think that's what
Yeah.
gets people stuck. Like, we're raised in this society that, like, if I can't connect the dots from A to B to C, then it must not be real. But when you understand, like we talked about me being a physical therapist, when you see a human body, like when you see a cadaver, which
Yeah.
we did in school, when you see the complexity of what, like,
Exactly.
all of, like, dude, it, like, if you look at a
Exactly.
human body and you still think that there isn't a greater, like,
Bro, it's the human body is so complicated, like, but it's made imperfect.
Yeah.
Like, by a plant, bro, how it gives oxygen, you know,
Yeah.
photosynthesis.
Yeah.
Just that, you know,
Yeah.
you're like, bro, how can you say God doesn't exist? You know?
Yeah.
Photosynthesis, bro. Just look that up. If you don't know what that is, look it up. But just look at that, you know, and just like do how it gives, you know, how it takes in carbon dioxide and gives out releases oxygen.
Yeah.
Bro, a tree. If you X-ray a tree, you see all those little cells going up and down, you know, working together. It's just like us, bro. In order for us, bro, God meant us to work together, like if it's like a tree and the plants and all in harmony. But since Eve grabbed that apple, we don't live in harmony no more. Not to blame the girls or nothing. I'm just saying, you know.
No, yeah. Well,
I'm just saying, you know, like that's why we're not living in perfect harmony, like how we're
Yep.
supposed to, you know. And that's why the devil made his mark to it here on earth, you know. And so his goal is to detour everybody from God's purpose and to make God not real, you know.
Yeah.
But they want to believe in aliens and werewolves and vampires. But what makes it hard to believe in God? That's the thing that mind boggles me, bro.
I think
It's like-
getting in, keep going.
Yeah, I mean, it mind boggles me how you want to believe in like all these other things, you know what I'm talking about, but not believe in God. UFOs, especially UFOs, bro. There's a big old like UFOs, you know. But you want to believe in that, but not believe in God. Not even give God a chance by you look the research up and look for yourself. You know, it's like, but the youth, bro, how you gonna let the youth research when the youth don't even know how to research? You know, like they don't
They're
know.
looking.
Yeah,
This
TikTok.
Is, yeah.
And TikTok can detour you from it. You know, they can
There's
put
a
anything
lot.
false. Don't believe everything in TikTok.
And our youth, I mean,
You
our
know?
youth is experiencing something that we never had. The amount of information overload. Like, I'm really happy when I see kids playing outside. Like my kids, I'm always outside with them.
Amen, brother.
On the street, just
Yeah.
ride bikes, skateboards, all the things. And then, you know, that human interaction, talking to one another,
Because they're all in their
Yeah.
screens, bro.
connect.
Bro,
Well, that's what we're supposed to do as humans. We're supposed to connect.
glued, bro.
And
Glued
then
on their screens.
That's one thing that I'm always like blown away. So a very interesting moment. I hang out at a lot of skate parks. My son skateboards, and you know the kids. Some of the kids, you know, I can tell come from a really hard life. Some may even be living on the streets. They don't. They choose to. They have homes, but their pride's not good homes. When you see everything packed in their backpack and they're bringing everything with them,
yeah.
No.
they're, you know, you could see it, right? It's sad. And I'll be sitting there and they're talking and they never ask right away what happened to me. Like, but when they get comfortable enough and you get talking, they're like, okay, I think I can ask this guy. So what happened, man? And it's a real shot like,
yeah.
yo, man, what's up? What happened? And I know right away. And I'm like, oh. And then I tell them. And it's like this, holy crap. Like they just seen a unicorn in a sense, right? Because
Yeah.
they can't believe someone could go through that much and still be in front of them in
Yep.
a sense, right? But there was this really unique moment. This kid, he's middle school, and I've been watching him come to skate school and skateboard. And I seen him. I remember his first day. He could not ride the board at all. He's chasing that board all around. He'd get like a few feet and he'd fall off, and he'd be chasing it. And then he hit a puddle and got mud all over his board, but it wasn't his board. It was the teacher's board, so he felt bad. And he's just the sweetest kid. And I'm watching him, and so then weeks go on, and I see him getting better. I see he can ride the board now. He's getting comfortable on the board. Is he perfect? No. Is he going to be ollieing anytime soon? Probably not. But he can ride it.
Yeah.
And he's scared. He's facing a fear. And so I remember we're sitting at the bowl, and he's sitting at the keyhole of the bowl. a bowl is like an empty pool.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I roll up to him. I'm at the top of the bowl, and Levi just got done. And I roll over to him, and I'm like, "So, man, you gonna give it a shot today?" And he goes, "I'm thinking about it." And
How old is he?
he's probably, if I had to put an age on him, I'd say probably 14.
Okay.
And he, I was like, it's scary at first. And I was kind of coaching him through what to do. And he's like, "Do you skateboard still?" And I go, and immediately like, wow, this guy does not see my chair. This guy just sees me as me.
Yeah.
Love it.
And I go, "I used to, but I don't anymore." He's like, "Oh," he's like, "Why?" And I was like, "I became a firefighter." He's like, "Oh, wow." And he asked a few questions. And he goes, "You still do that?" And I was like, "Not anymore." And he goes, "Well, why?" And I go, "I lost the use of my legs." He's like, "Oh, okay." He's like, "Well, I'm sorry that happened to you." And I was like, "So after everything I just told you, you're gonna try this bowl?" Sure enough, the kid went for it.
Dude.
Yeah.
He went for
That's
it. And I
awesome.
was
Yeah.
like, and I was there, and it was like, that's what I want our youth to experience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Facing fear, conquering, not giving up, that perseverance. Because that
Yeah.
skateboarding, in my eyes, there's many sports. They're all wonderful. They teach so many lessons. But when you can find something that a kid hyper focuses on and does the best, and why? What's the why? Why are you doing it?
Yeah.
In skateboarding, traditionally, it's a lot of outcasts. Right? This kid, I don't know what his story is. I didn't need to ask. I didn't see it.
Doesn't really matter.
I didn't see it, just like he didn't see my
You
wheelchair.
didn't see, yeah, you just saw you as a person.
Yeah, and saw that he conquered a fear, and that he's growing in this sport.
Yeah.
And that I take that, and that story, that moment has lived in my head for the last 4 weeks.
Should. man.
Every hour, I reflect on that. That's been part of a lot. I reflect a lot. I reflect at morning and night, and I can tell you that moment I've been reflecting on and trying to understand. And you wonder, are those the moments like you get just a glimpse,
Yeah.
right? It's that moment where you're like, I am exactly where I'm supposed to be right now,
Yeah, exactly.
right?
Because he needs to hear that from you. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Because you just basically did a snowball effect to his life. Because now he's going to try different things. Now it's like, oh, I conquer that.
But mutually,
Yeah,
I needed to
oh,
hear that.
That's exactly.
Yeah.
Because when
And
you're
that's
tied to
that's how
something,
God works, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
It was a
you can see God in there. You know?
we're decades apart,
Yeah.
and completely different journeys, but we both that was wild, and I needed that just as much as he needed that confidence.
But you took the time to go to him, right? And then
Yeah.
he accepted you.
Yeah,
But then also like what we're talking about, just being present.
Yeah.
Like you could have been sitting there and your son could have been in the bowl and you could have been swiping through your phone. But like this whole mission to get us distracted, right? And there's monetization in that too, right? When we're distracted and we're swiping, eventually we're gonna buy something. Eventually we're gonna get anxious. How do you feel when you sit on your phone for 20 minutes and you swipe through a bunch of stuff versus you're present and you're just taking in the world
Yeah.
and taking in people? Like, how do you feel? It's like, I think you nailed it. Like what kids are, and Angel, you said what kids are going through right now.
Yeah.
They need, they
And-
need you, man. They need more.
And see, bro, that's something that right now I've been doing a lot. Like fishing, bro. I've been out there fishing
Nice.
and just like taking all that in, bro. Because I'm usually at home, and I'm like,
Yeah.
and my wife's family, bro, is really into camping and fishing and hunting,
Love it. Love
And
it.
me, bro, I was like, when I was in my addiction, bro, I just wanted to be in the bathroom. That's it. Leave me alone. I'm here. I'm trying to get over this. I'm trying to become sober, but I can't. Ashamed. But now, bro, I'm out fishing, bro, and I'm actually like thinking, bro, like, okay, like I get there, bro. I'm like, it's so peaceful, and like it's by
beautiful.
myself, and
sunsets and
yeah,
sunrises.
it's just like,
right?
dude, God's creation. It's right there. But man, bro, it's. I always tell people, bro, like you have to understand the enemy. You have to understand that he hates you with a passion. You are the reason why he can't go to heaven, basically. So the youth needs to understand this. The better you know your enemy, the better it is the way to get to know what he's going to attack you or what his moves are. So if he knows that he hates you with a passion, understand that, and that he's very smart. Understand that he's going to outsmart you every single time. So if you don't have God in order to protect you, at least help you with protection, then bro, you're a goner. I'm talking about, like, he's gonna send women, he's gonna send drugs, he's gonna send money, and you're gonna be like, oh yeah, I'm in the world. But in reality, he's setting you up. It's a setup. So whenever you get older and older, boom, now you're doing life because you murdered somebody, or you're doing life because you got into a gang and you shot somebody, But that's what you need to understand. The enemy is very smart. He hates you with a passion. And with God, you're not going to be able to defeat him. You're not, you're not going to be able to defeat him at all, and that's something, bro, that I tell everybody, if it's youth or older, I was like, understand your enemy. He is very smart. He's the very first one created, the very first angel, the cherubim that was created. He is very intelligent and very beautiful, he can mock any angel. He knows the Bible better than anybody here on earth. He was, but you are the reason why he can't go up there. Understand that, so he hates you. So if you ever try to attack somebody, bro, you understand how you say, like, how important you are by the way he sends to attack you, So I always tell people, a robber doesn't rob a house without jewels, So if you're feeling attacked, if you're feeling that, man, nothing in life is going for me. I'm talking, my mom is after me, my dad don't understand me, my school, I got bullies. Understand that there's something in you that is very, very important that you're going to hurt him in the future. So he's trying to send all this at when you're young, when you hardly know anything, when you don't have that much knowledge about anything, you're barely growing. So he's trying to get you early, to knock you so you can maybe try that little hit of weed, or a little bump of coke, But then that's his how you say, that's his goal, for you to become so overwhelmed with problems that you try a drug, because then he got you like a fish.
Where'd you learn this at, man? Like, dude, you're like, I feel like I'm in class.
He just talked to me because
it is crazy.
I went down. I just went back to everything that I've had to experience, and feeling attacked, feeling every time I step up, I get knocked down, and then and then I'm like, wow, I can't. And then I just remember all those moments of doubt, and my wife just going, like, when I'm like, being told, like, you're not going to survive.
Yeah.
Prepare yourself. Like, we're giving up on you, right? And her having that phone call with her that evening when they're like talking palliative care and stuff like that, like, right? And having that call to her and saying, this is what they just told me today. And her response was, I don't know what they're talking about. That doesn't make sense. They don't know my nick. And I'm just like, dang.
Awesome.
The confidence you have in me, because
awesome.
Right now I'm laying here and can't even get out of bed.
I don't know what, like, I've ever heard you, like, with that perspective of saying, like, you felt attacked. You felt like, I've never, like, that's cool that like hearing, like, angels bringing that out of you.
For example,
Because you can see it, right? We're like, as I'm talking about it, you can see it in your own life.
Well,
and it makes sense, right?
For example, when I was in the fire department and I was testing for Omaha, and I went and I, they only tested like every 2, sometimes 3 years. And then you had the recession, which pushed it back. And it was always kind of based on economic and how large the classes were. And I tested. And I was so hyper-focused. I dedicated 10 years of my life from the time I was old enough to test all the way up to the age of 31. And I made it, right? I passed the physical. I beat the written. I made it to the chief's interview. And I got through all of it to that phone call from the chief saying, come on, this is your day.
Yeah.
But when that happened, I had a cancer diagnosis. I couldn't accept it.
Yeah.
So it was like those moments.
So mad,
Yeah. And then I went for the school board.
That's normal.
Yeah. I went for the school board.
Yeah.
I was going through the campaign for the school board, and months and months of dedication, cancer came back, knocked me out again. I had to resign from that race. And, it's all those little things where I was fearful of even trying to do anything that I was passionate about, because every time I did, I got
and that's what he wants, bro.
I got hit.
See, you understand it.
Yeah.
Because that's what he wants.
tough.
It's like a game of chess. You know what I'm saying? And you God makes a move, the devil makes a move on your life. You make a move, and then the devil makes a move on your life, knocks you back down. But bro, it's so easy. That's normal. Those are normal, how you say, emotions, bro.
Starting a family, got knocked back, got
anybody will
sick.
feel that, bro.
And we almost did it.
But you understand, bro, that those challenges, bro, are for you, because he knew that you were gonna conquer them. Because if it would happen to me, bro, it would have been a different outcome. I wouldn't be exactly the pain. The pain would have overtook me, bro.
Like a baby.
Yeah, that's
who wouldn't,
yeah.
man?
Who
Like,
wouldn't? That's your life, bro. Your career that you're fighting so much to get, and boom, he knocks you down.
Yeah.
Like me, bro, I would have went to drugs probably, and that's what I'm saying, bro. He meant that for you because he knew you can conquer that, My challenge is for me because he knows I can conquer them, but he doesn't give you enough that you can't handle. That's what I'm saying, like, because my challenges, bro, like if it was switched around, it would be a different outcome. If it would have been you with drugs and me, it would have been different. But it's crazy, bro. When you sit there and as I'm talking about it, you can see it in your own life how he's been trying to hit you, knock you down, knock you
I started
down.
relating it to like when you were
Yeah.
I think about the things that have come at me, and he knew exactly. He knew exactly where my weak spot was, and
Exactly.
he knew that I wanted to belong, that I wanted to, you know, be important, be like he knew exactly. Go back, man. Like, did you have a pastor? Like, where, dude? Like, your just understanding of this, is it self taught? Has it just come to you? Like. And it doesn't need to be like a clear, there doesn't need to be like a one answer, but
Yeah.
I'm like floored about how just clear you are on the enemy and the battle. Like,
Me, bro, like I really feel like it's like there's like layers, right? And the foundation of it is me being hard headed, you know, me
Okay.
making the wrong moves and then learning from those mistakes, right?
yeah,
And then so me, bro, okay, I made this. The definition of insanity, bro, is doing the same thing over and over, expecting
Yep.
different results, right?
Yep.
Okay, so if I know that I'm gonna fail and fail, okay, I'm gonna research, you know, to make sure. Okay, now I know that God does exist,
Yep.
so I'm gonna go into research to okay, it's spiritual. Okay, let me go into depth with spirituality. Like, what's in there for me?
How did you research? What tools did you
Oh,
use?
YouTube, bro. Like my wife knows, bro. Anything. If I want to fix something in the house, YouTube is where I go. And but I double check because not everything on YouTube
That's what I
is
was
true.
gonna-
You know,
yeah.
you have to double check with other resources to make sure that it makes sense. You know,
Yeah.
because I'll look at a video, bro, but then I'll look at 3 other videos, the same thing about the same content to
Yep.
make sure that it's legit. You
You
know,
back it up.
yeah, you can back it up. You know, but that's me, bro. I guess it's a lot of trial and error. You know, but in reality, bro, I think it's really me making the wrong decisions. You know, and learning from them. You know, saying okay, why does this happen to me over and over? You know, why am I addicted? Why can't I break this? You know,
Why did you keep asking questions to get to the right place versus so many, like, and you were close, right? It sounds like you were close to not making, and maybe there
Yeah.
not an answer to this, but I'm perplexed right now. Like how you kept asking and kept digging to like now be like this person that's sitting in front of me, man. Like why?
the restroom, bro.
The what?
just being in the restroom. You know, in the restroom
Got it. Okay.
with my addiction. You know, just like man.
Yeah, man. Like that you had enough reflection on being in that
Bro,
restroom.
I was in there for hours, bro. Like 12 hours, bro, in the restroom, just doing drugs and wondering what am I gonna do to sober up? You know, like like why is my life like this? You know, like
Dude, that is profound to me because I think everybody else is sitting there and it's like that person's messed up. Like, what a mess. What a da da da. And you're sitting in there.
yeah, bro, with all
You're-
that,
you're-
with all that in my
and-
brain,
and you're
you know,
sitting there though, like actually
ashamed of my family,
right.
and-
Like,
and
how am I gonna get out of
yeah,
this? And I think
all my friends, all my family, that they can't believe how low I went. You know, I couldn't believe it. You know, like how did I get so low? My wife, bro, my wife's still loving me even though I'm doing drugs in the basement in the restroom. You know, like
There's one
it's
consistent
just-
thing that I can relate to you right away. Because I asked myself the same thing when I couldn't get out of my hospital bed. Why am I here? How did I
Yeah.
get here? Why am I here? What can I do to get out of here? And it's like you're put in this like prison in a sense.
Yeah.
Right. It's a you feel completely detached from the world and you feel like you're in a pit.
dude, that's gotta feel
And you're
just
like,
terrible.
how'd I get here? Why am I here?
Mad at
what'd I do to
yourself,
deserve
mad at
this?
the
Yeah.
world.
Oh, shame.
Like shame, bro. Like, you know, it's just like
Even
so
say
so
it.
many emotions, bro. You know what I'm talking about? And but it's not just like a 30-minute thing. You're in there for hours feeling this emotion, you know? And then you're trying to think of a game plan on how to sober up, you know? Because I'm like, this is not what my life is gonna end like. You know, I gotta get sober. How am I gonna do it? Because I gotta get sober. I was marked. So that tells me that God has a bigger purpose for my life. So how am I gonna get sober? I can cry after a while, bro, after you feel ashamed for months, years, there's gonna be a point where you're like, okay, time to toughen up. How am I gonna do this? Enough. I've been so much time in the bathroom, crying and crying and crying. I gotta stop.
Yeah.
Something's gotta change. You know,
Yeah.
something's gotta change, and that's when you gotta make the move. You know, like you gotta make today done.
Yeah.
Start deleting everybody's number, all your dealers, delete everything. Boom. You know, next step. You know,
Little
prepare yourself.
every day.
Me, bro, it was my addiction, and I knew that it's gonna be a week at least feeling like crap. you know?
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, how am I gonna do that? I'm gonna try to sleep. I'm gonna try to sleep as much as I can so I don't feel it as much, you know? And that's what I did, bro. I tried to sleep as much as I can. But when you got up, you know, and I started deleting people's numbers, and I'm like, dude, I'm done. I have to be done because every day that I do that drug is like slapping God in the face because it's like he blessed me with a purpose. He marked me. I was one of the chosen ones, bro. That right there, bro, you should be find pride in that, you know, that you are a chosen one, you know. And God told me you're marked, you are a chosen one. And so that made that I can see the light in the tones of that.
That's
you
who
know?
the enemy wants the most, though, too.
Exactly,
Like,
exactly. Yeah.
you're
Yeah.
a crown jewel right there.
Yeah, anybody, bro, out there that's addicted, understand this. Understand if you're addicted to anything, understand that you're addicted because your life has a big purpose. Understand that because if you weren't addicted, then the robber wouldn't rob the house because there's no jewels. You have a jewel inside of you. You're chosen. You know what I'm talking about? All the people that are addicted, bro, are chosen by God. But the devil is trying to drown you in your addiction because he don't want you to understand who you really are in God's eyes. The moment you realize that how important you are in God's eyes and what gift you are going to bring to all of us, because basically your gift is going to help all of us get closer to God, whatever you bring to the table, you know, and understand that. Like my gift, bro, is I hate the spotlight, bro. I hate like this, bro. Making this podcast, bro, was very tough on me to make the decision to do it because I don't like the spotlight. I like to be in the shadows. I don't like it because I understand that this comes with a responsibility. That once I make the decision to be on this podcast, I have to make my life into a higher level. Now every move that I make is
Be
even
that
more example, exactly. Because one wrong move, bro, one wrong move can push a lot of people away from God. And that's not what I want to do. You know, I want people to realize that he does exist. And the more faster you understand that, the better your life is going to be. Especially for the youth, bro. Especially for youth. Get closer to God. Prove me wrong. Do your research. Prove me wrong that God doesn't exist. And you'll see all the research on there, man. You know? Just prove me wrong, bro.
It's-
You know? That's a
Angel.
challenge for the youth.
My
Prove me
goodness.
wrong, you know?
Hey, brother, I want to tell you, man, how proud of you I am. Like, and you know, the sermon that I sent you, that I, like,
Yeah.
you have, like you said, and this isn't like a rah-rah, like you have fulfilled your position of being a man and of being a leader of a household and being a leader of a family. Like going back to Eve, right? The way that I hear and I perceive that story, right, is that there was a decision that was Joby Martin, who I just a shameless shout out to Joby Martin, man. Like, dude, I listen to that guy's stuff. But that was the first example of man when God came up and said, "Why did you let that happen?" And he just kind of is like, well, you know, she said,
Yeah, exactly.
and men have taken that position almost in eternity now. But dude, I'm so proud of you, brother. Like you have grabbed that opportunity to be a man and to do right.
Thank you. And I don't really see that, bro. But until somebody mentions it to me, that's when I'm like, okay, you know, that's when I actually take back and actually take that in, you know, because I'm so hard, bro, to be so hard on myself. I am. That I can do that easy. Man, you're not good enough. You're not doing, you know, you need to live your life into under a microscope even more, you know. But when you hear stuff like that, bro, it's like that gives me a perspective of what God is seeing in me, you know, because God is obviously communicating to him to tell me that, you know, because I feel, bro, that where I'm at right now, bro, yeah, I'm blessed, but the devil's right there whispering in my ear, you ain't nothing. You're nothing but a drug addict. That's what you are. You know, a drug addict, a drug dealer, you know, but you have anger issues, all that, bro. You know, it's just whispering in my ear, you're not good enough.
And you know, like we talked about this earlier, brother, what drowns that out, what mutes that voice is getting around people that love you, man.
Oh, yes.
And like,
Yes.
and that's the thing, like,
Like-minded people.
don't you want more of this?
Yeah, yeah,
And that's
exactly.
what we're getting super protective of is that, dude, because like you talked about when we were getting ready for the show, there's people everywhere around you. They're just waiting for you to screw up. And, and to point, dude, I told you couldn't do it.
Yeah.
And you were putting more and more people around you, man, that like, I mean, dude, you're capable, like,
So you see, a little bit off of that, bro. You know what I'm talking about? Like, you have to understand, bro, that there's people around you that don't have God at all. You know what I'm talking about? So understand that they're saying, yeah, man, good for you. But deep inside, that's not what they're truly feeling. You know, I'm saying this because myself, I felt that before. You know, some guy over here is making it and I'm like, good job, bro. You know, but it's deep inside, I felt like, man, what am I doing wrong? You know, like I want that, you know, to be have like envy, I guess, you know. So I felt that. So I'm telling you from my own personal experience, you know. So there's people around you, bro, that don't have God, you know. So understand this, that it's not them that actually think that about you. And since they don't have God, the devil's right there using them as puppets, you know. So they can feel the way they feel to drown them more and feeling for what they feel. You know what I'm saying? So that's the whole purpose of the enemy, bro, is to drown you in those bad feelings, you know? And you understand that. So when people are around you, bro, you have to surround yourself with people that are actually have at least God in their life, bro. You know, at least that they're, you know, some people just pray before food and you know, and that's fine. There's baby steps to get to where you're at. There's no rush at it. But surround yourself with people like that at least have God in some form of in their life, you know? Because if you don't, the enemy's gonna use them that don't have them as puppets to get you off your course, you know? So they might get a text, hey man, you know what, bro? Like, you know, you owe me this much money, I need it now, you know? And just because he felt some type of way because you're making it. But I'm like, all right, bro, I got you next week. No, I need it now, you know? So just to fight, you know, to fight with you. I felt it. I felt that before. But so understand that, you know, understand that just surround yourself with people that, and if me, bro, I got so comfortable not having no one around me that I got so comfortable, like really comfortable. Isolated. That I came to figure out that that's what the enemy wants too. He wants you to be isolated yourself because I was comfortable, bro. I'm quick to cut somebody off, you know? If I see you, bro, that you're not, I'm helping you up, you know? But you have to pull your own, you know, like you need to pull your own weight too, you know? I can pull you, but if you become too, you know, I'm cutting you off because now my salvation, is in danger, you know?
That goes to the family. That goes to
yeah, bro.
all the other ones that are connected and looking to you as an example.
Exactly.
It's a.
But then you got people, bro, like my sister that tells you what you need to hear. Hey, Angel, don't cut him off, you know, because he's family. I know you're quick to cut people off, but that's what makes her strong, bro. So where I'm strong, bro, she is weak, my sister, and where she is strong, I am weak, and that's how we help each other, you know. I'm quick to cut people off, and I tell her, hey. If he's not walking or she ain't walking with you, cut him off, you know, because all he's doing. And I'm quick to tell her that, but when she needs me to hold on to somebody, she tells me, "Hey, give him another chance." And then she's, you know, that's why you need people that are like-minded, man. Yeah. So you can help each other out, you know. That's how we all help each other out.
And not be isolated, right?
Yeah,
like, because if you don't have her, you don't have that.
Yeah, and the devil's whispering, "Hey."
And listen, and you can tell
you
can tell certain tones and you know who it's coming from. And sometimes you don't, like,
bro, you're the vibe.
Like sometimes you don't, right? Like
just that vibe, you know, like
that kid in the skate park, right?
Yeah.
You know, I wasn't expecting that, but man, with the impact he had on me, and you don't think that, like, what's a kid gonna teach me? Yeah. He did, right? And it's those little messages that we get throughout the day and throughout life, you know. But to remember, bro, to actually take in those little messages, you know, because
we're so used to like fast paced life, you know, talking about do this, do that. We got a whole list that we don't actually take the moment.
It will distract you to where
you're not you don't actually. Those are like, I call them God moments, you know, talking about when they actually God's like, look, I'm sending you a sign right now, you know, that I'm with you. Like me, bro, I made
people having the courage to tell you
that too.
That's unique.
That too, you know,
like having we have a really good friend. She's family. She's a boy's godparent. What's up, Bridget? Love her to death. Because that moment where she came into my room, man, this is when I was working nights. I would come back and I had no joy in life. No joy, no happiness. I had everything. I had a beautiful family, wife, all the things, friends. I was not happy, but I was denying myself that happiness.
Yeah.
Like a punishment. It wasn't worth it. I felt shame, all the things. I wasn't happy. And I remember her coming in because I would sleep all day. This is one of the lowest moments. And she comes in and she's like, sits down. And she's like, I got to talk to you. And this is off script for her. And she goes, I'm looking at you and you don't have joy for life anymore. You have no joy for life. She's like, I was like, dang.
See, and God used her to get to you, you know?
Hit. Yeah. In that moment, I was like, wow. And then, you know, I was like, but it angered me because I didn't know how to find that joy, if that was even possible. And then later on, my wife saying to me when we were talking, but I wasn't really there. I was there, but I wasn't. But then she goes, I don't see you smile anymore.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't know who you are. You're not my Nick anymore. And you're just like, man, and it's those messages. And sometimes they come in waves from multiple directions.
It is crazy.
But
when
it's
there's a
all
lot-
the same.
Yeah.
It's all
Yeah,
the same
yeah,
line,
yeah.
the same script.
But you can
different
still
words,
not be
man.
present and miss that.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah,
If you're
exactly.
Not, if you're not
Oh,
like,
I was in
even-
and out of consciousness, dude. This is where I was at. It was like I was knocking out, like nodding out, right?
Yeah.
Like it would be 90 some degrees. I'd be out on our back deck with a hoodie, a long sleeve underneath my hoodie, sweatpants on, in my wheelchair, passed out.
Oh yeah.
And I fell out of my chair. And
Yeah.
luckily we have like a deck couch.
Yeah.
Fell into that. And she
Yeah.
found me and I completely zonked out. And it was that's how sick I was.
Yeah.
But I was letting go. Like I was
Yeah.
denying. I didn't want to fix it because it was too much.
Yeah, it's a
like you
lot.
felt that,
Yeah,
right? Like
yeah,
it's too much.
yeah.
This is a mountain I can't climb, all those things, right? But you have those people that are like lifting you up, right? Like
Yeah.
saying those messages and calling you and checking in on you, right? And hey, how's it going? How you doing? And that accountability.
And yeah, bro. And those little times, bro, like they mean a lot to you, right?
Yeah, 'cause it's
because if
accountability.
it wasn't for that, bro, you still be going deeper, deeper,
Yeah.
deeper. But God uses people around you, bro, to
If you were isolated,
Yeah.
dude, I would have.
Bro, I was so
Would've
isolated with
went.
my addiction, bro. Like I was in that restroom, bro. You know, feeling ashamed for like hours, bro. And that, man, it starts to eat away at your soul, bro. You know, it starts being like, you know what, like you got two options: either I'm good or I'm gonna turn bad. But God didn't understand. I mean, the enemy understands, bro, how bad you can get. You know, so that's why he's fighting for you. He's like, I want you to hurt all these people. I want you to turn all these people. You know. But then God doesn't understand how much good you can do, man. Because I know, bro, how bad I can get. You know, because I got to that point where I'm just like, who am I? You know, I became so dark. I didn't care about people's feelings. I didn't care about what you felt. You know, I'm gonna take whatever I want. I'm gonna take that forcefully. You know, because back then, bro, I would get respect out of fear. You know, that's how I got respect. You know, because I learned at when I was going football, you know, that people were bullying me. Once I punched that dude and knocked him out, then I was like, oh, now he's fearing me. Oh, I can respect out of that. I use that. But you have to understand, bro, that when that becomes a habit, to break that is hard too, you know?
Yep.
Because now you're trying to get respect from like a respect a different way, you know, by the good that I do or the man that I am now, you know, instead of using fear, you know?
showing
You
up.
can still knock that person out, man, but that's when you don't have Christ in your life, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Because, you know, I've been taught, like, we're not meant to be lambs, right? We're not just going to lay back and, like, fight when we're supposed to fight,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But it perpetuates itself in the wrong way.
Yeah.
I wanted, like, one thing I struggled with this week, man, in a little over a week, but, like, I was really battling something mentally. And you can have people around you at times that get you through something, or they come to you at the right time. But this thing I was struggling with, like, I went to every corner that I knew to call, and sometimes people didn't pick up. And there's one person that, like, particular, and this isn't like they're human, right? But at times, man, as close and as important as people are, I talked to this person, man. I went to this person and they just didn't have it. Like, they didn't have the answer. I threw my problem across the table, and it just like
Like it felt that they didn't even try.
it just didn't take this time.
Yeah.
Like, they didn't have it. And I was so discouraged, man. Like, I remember going to bed that night and I was like, damn, like that's
They didn't have it. What do you mean by that? Like they didn't.
usually
Did you
like
feel like-
they can give words
Yeah,
of,
gotcha,
of,
like
you
the
know, like
encouragement.
words of
Okay.
encouragement,
Okay.
direction, or say what needs to be said.
Okay,
Like
gotcha.
maybe it's just like some hard
Yeah,
love, like
yeah, yeah.
you know, tough love. And it just like didn't, there was nothing there. And even like I could tell they were just like, well, I was like, whoa. And I went to bed that night, and craziest thing happened, man. I got up in the morning, and the thing that was bothering me came back, and I watched that sermon, right? Could have
Yeah.
been any sermon, right? I watched that sermon, and is Galatians, and it was about Paul talking about, you know, Paul's take on therapies is like, why are you being fearful? You have the maker of all creation on your side. Like, what are you being fearful about? Have that faith. Dude, I prayed that morning, and I have had peace over me, and I can't explain it. But all of the human network that I had, they didn't have this one. And I
It
knew
made us
and
for a purpose, you know?
it was,
Yeah.
man.
Because it got you to pray, you know? Because he wanted you to have that one-on-one with him. Because he's like, you reach out to your people all the time, right?
Yep.
He's like, but when are you gonna reach out to me directly and ask
Yep.
for that?
Yep.
Right?
It was dude.
So it sucked at the moment, bro. It sucks, you know, because you're like, man, you know, but it leads you to something else, you know, because he
Yeah.
wants you. How else is he gonna direct you if he shuts that person down first to make you feel like that? Because you said to yourself, like, this is the only time that you didn't have the answer. So what's the next move?
Yeah.
I guess I gotta pray to him directly, you know?
And I'm trying to touch somebody. I'm trying to get this across to somebody else out there that like I can be seen as very confident. I've got everything like figured out, and I didn't, man. Like I was just not the first time in my life,
yeah.
right. But man, I said like when I went to bed that night, I was like, wow. And one thing I can be better at, and I've realized this, is just praying, like praying and leaning on the greatest power, right? But yeah, I just wanted to throw that out there, man, that like you've been through that too. Every network that you had, and I hear like you had a loving family and like you've had a lot of people who have cared, but sometimes the people on this earth just simply don't have it.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
And for me to admit that I don't have it, like this one, I can't figure this one out.
Yeah.
And my intuition was to go right to all the network around me when they didn't have it. But dude, it was an amazing thing. I was earlier this week and I've had peace. I've had peace ever since that.
Yeah, that's a good feeling, bro. You know, because that's a good feeling, man. Because there's things, bro, that God will put in your path in order for you to conquer and to make you come back to Him. You know, because how else is He gonna communicate with you if you're not understanding everything else? He's trying to make you come to pray with me. You know, I want that one-on-one time.
Yep.
But how else is He gonna get you to do that if it is gonna shut somebody down? You know.
You know what's really impactful to me too is like at times like when I'm asked to talk to people that are struggling and I don't have the answer. I don't know how to fix this. And my best thing I can do is invite them to church. Come to church with me.
Yeah.
Right. And because I don't have the answer.
Yeah.
And I think as humans too, at times we're like, whether it's great loss or great struggle, like we feel this thing, you're like, I got to see the right thing to fix it. And you don't have it.
Yeah.
You don't have it, man. They need something beyond what you can give as a part of this earth.
Yeah. No, you can feel it inside you too, bro. Like if somebody tells you a problem, like when somebody tells me a problem, bro, I go straight to like, okay, what do I have in my resume? Basically, I call it a resume, you know, that I can relate to this, you know, so I can at least point the right way. If I don't have anything in my resume that pertains to their problem, I'm not going to answer it. You know, I'm like, you know what? I'm not trying to, because what you're going to do is you're going to do something more harm than good, you know, because then you're going to lead them somewhere else because they're going to feel what you felt, you know, but you don't got the answer.
Yeah.
So why not be truthful about it? Look, bro, I got answers to all this other stuff, but just that I don't. But let me point you the right direction though, you know? Like we'll find it together, you know. That's a different move.
Come
but
with me.
Yeah. But at the same time, bro, you're not out there to help everybody either. You have to understand that. Because me, bro, before I would try to help everybody. But then, bro, it became
the stuff you can't fix.
Bro, my life became like exhausting. You know, I'm just like, bro, like you don't get it. But not everybody gets it, bro, because they're not at that right stage in their life to be at the same time with you. You know, some people, bro, will just hear it and out the other ear, you know. They're not meant to hear, so you're just wasting your breath, you know, because they don't believe in God and they're not ready to make that step yet, you know. So if me, bro, I'm at work and as I'm cutting hair, bro, if you don't mention God first, I'm not gonna bring it up, you know. I'm not gonna, because I'm not here. I'm here to make myself better, bro, to get myself in the right position where I can help somebody, you know, and that is to stay sober and make my life in a microscope to make sure I'm making the right decisions, because I always try to live my life with integrity, bro. Like always try to do the right thing when nobody's looking, you know, and try to do the best. If I'm over cleaning this floor, I'm gonna make sure I'm doing the best job at it, you know.
Because someone's always looking.
Yeah,
someone watching.
yeah. I tell that to my employer, bro. I tell that to my employer all the time. I'm like, if I'm gonna clean these bathrooms, I'm gonna get on my knees and clean this bathroom like my mom taught me. I'm talking about bleach everywhere, get on the bottom, and you know, and they appreciate that. And I tell them all the time, if I'm gonna do anything, I'm gonna do the best job I can do on that, you know, because that's how you live your life, and that becomes a habit in everything you do. And dude, if you're living your life,
so
if you're living your life, bro, that has to be good karma. Good karma will come your way because you're not slacking, bro. You know, nobody likes a slacker. Nobody likes a lazy person, you know. You know, in Spanish, bro, there's a saying called el huevón trabaja doble. basically a lazy person always works double. So if you're gonna do a half job on it, you're gonna get sent back and do it again. So why not do it right the first time? Again, it goes back to integrity, which a lot of our youth, bro, slack a lot on that. I'm not my kids too. I
Yeah,
try to teach
catching
that to
my
my
little ones.
yeah, bro. I'm just like my middle school bro. I try to tell him, like, look, if you're gonna do that, do the best job you can do. If you're gonna flip burgers for the rest of your life, do the best job, man. Like, you're flipping burgers you can, because happiness doesn't mean how successful you are. Happiness means what, like just finding what your
Right.
purpose is. And that's going to lead you to your
Be
happiness.
proud of the job you just did.
Exactly.
No matter what job
Yeah.
it is, just be proud of it.
Yeah, like
Right,
happiness.
you can walk away like, that was my,
the
that
youth,
was my work.
exactly. The youth. I always tell my employers that, man, Jesus himself can sit on this toilet and be proud of it.
Yeah.
Because I bleach it, bro. When you
Yep.
go into that bathroom, you gonna smell bleach everywhere because you gonna know that bathroom's clean,
Yeah.
and that's why I clean it. But that's why the youth, bro, I really feel like they slack a lot on that. But I don't know because of their phones or, but they slack to live to do the best they can on that. I believe like they're really lost in that. What the word integrity really means.
And self-integrity. I think that's so like amazing what you just said, that you don't this isn't about like, everybody's so concerned about what they put out in the world, what they look like, and how they and that's it's just a farce, right? Versus that self-integrity. But I do think the youth, brother, like, they just need more mentors, man.
Exactly.
I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah,
it's easier.
yeah.
It's easier to have a kid than it is to go get a driver's license,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
God's gift,
Yeah.
God's gift to procreate,
Yeah.
right? But they need more. They just need more people.
Ask questions, man. Like, if you don't understand something, research, and if you can't ask questions, man, because you're not going to get no knowledge of just sitting there feeling the way you do. If you feel some type of way, or if you're going through a problem, you don't know how to deal with it, don't turn to drugs. Talk to somebody about it. Your mom, your dad,
If you don't have that, then
yeah,
Yeah.
like talk to somebody about it. Like find the answer. Don't sit there and just keep feeling the way you do, because that's the devil. The enemy's gonna be quick to throw a little sack of weed right there on your place in order for you to try it, and then your life won't get 10 times harder. Just try to find the answer. Try and research it. Trying to talk to somebody about it, because the moment that you just sit there and isolate yourself, man, those are grounds for the enemy to attack you. Those are grounds right there.
brother, like this whole thing, man, is a stepping stone for you, man. I can feel it. Like I can't wait to support you, and please just lean in. Like, your calling, like you know it. You know what your calling is, man.
I really feel, bro, like that this was a
Yeah.
step. Like I told my wife on the way here, like, I don't know, but I even told you guys on text message. I'm like, I don't know what it is, but I feel like this is gonna be the step to get to my purpose. Because I'm trying to get there, bro. I've been waiting patiently, going around, and I call it God's waiting room, bro. When you miss your chance and it goes around, you miss a chance because now you're you're addicted to something, tobacco, nicotine, the vapes. You miss a chance, and God's like, okay, it's up to you if you want to go up there, but you got to give that up first. And I'm like, God, it's so hard. Okay, well, guess what? You're gonna keep on waiting. You're gonna keep on waiting. So when I gave up that nicotine, bro, overnight, I was like, you know what, Brennan, bro, like he made me see that, bro. Like, you know what? I'm so glad that, that God blessed me with the idea that
Awesome
I'm
pass.
done. He deserves that. I want to send a message that I love you to God by me quitting that vape, like that, cold turkey,
And we haven't gotten to it, but like, how the heck did you get in front of us, man? Is Brennan, who's one of
Brennan,
our
yeah,
friends,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
Who's
yeah.
one of your customers that
cutting his hair.
and yeah, I mean, and
Just
him,
talking. Yeah.
him being, aware and being present,
Yeah.
man. Thank you, like of
See?
this show, and then,
Yeah.
but then you taking an opportunity that, as great as this show was, man, and as amazing as you, like, dude, Angel, this has been incredible. We know this was not like natural, right? And like this thing just came out of you.
Yeah.
But the fact that Brennan presented this opportunity, and you're like, maybe next time the timing was right.
Exactly.
Man. The timing's
Because
right.
that's something, bro, you have to understand that if you want opportunities, bro, to come to your way, be still, and sit there, bro, and just, okay, what's going on in your life? What doors are opening? And once those doors open, bro, go through it. Why? Because I know that I'm free of all drugs. I'm done with nicotine. So I'm like, okay, today, knowing who you are in God. Okay, so I gave all the elements right now to like to level up, basically, I call it, So if I give all that up, I'm like, I'm just looking, bro. I'm looking for the opportunity. I'm listening to see who's gonna present the opportunity. You have to, bro, because I'm scared. Yeah, I was scared to do this podcast, bro, But it's something that I knew I had to do. I had to do it. This is gonna lead to whatever it is in the future, So God's like, okay, you can't be scared all the time. Yeah, you don't like to be in the spotlight. You don't like to have, but this is why I gave you that gift, because you won't abuse it, because you don't want it. And that's why he gave it to me. And that's why I understand this. So I'm okay, God, like, because I hate talking in front of people, bro, because I talk too fast. Like you say, like sometimes that you can't understand sometimes what I'm saying, because I get nervous and I try to spit out quick like an AK, so I can get out of it, But you have to understand, the faster you realize who you are in God and what gift you have. And I really feel, bro, like the youth listen to me for some reason, bro. Like I'll be at home, and little kids will come up to me and just stare at me, maybe because of piercings or maybe it's my gauges, but they just listen, So I really feel like, okay, like as soon as you understand that that's your gift, okay, then go forward with it. So when this opportunity opened up, bro, like even though it's scary, I had to take it. I had to take it because I'm like, okay, if God is with you, then you shouldn't be scared, bro, of anything. If anything, if I got over addiction, bro, and if I got over 11 times close to death, almost dying, this ain't nothing.
What's this little show? Yeah.
You have to let that resonate, bro. Yeah, it's scary, but not as scary as that. Me being in my bathroom locked up, seeing things fall off the shelf and all kinds of stuff, bro. Because you have to understand, bro, the drugs are the devil's like playground.
As many kids and youth as you're going to impact, man, I just want you to know, like, you impacted a lot of adults tonight. Dude, I'm 6 years older than you, brother. Like, I mean, I just got a lesson. Like, I mean, dude, you keep,
thank you, man. I appreciate that.
Going. And more than, like, selfishly, I can't wait to be your friend and your brother. Like, I feel like I just met, like, an amazing human being tonight. So thank you.
Thank you guys.
You take us home.
Just a privilege to see you grow and just see all the battles you've overcome to be right here in front of us. It wasn't easy. There's scars from it. There's, it's hard. It's not easy. And so I'm just really privileged and honored to be able to, you trust in us to share and to educate us and educate our listeners on what it has taken to be right here in this moment. Right. And it's not by chance. It's through a lot of struggle and self-reflection and perseverance and courage. So it's remarkable. And I commend both of you. What you're doing with the youth. You're not putting the youth like, hey, I figured out you can do the same thing. That mentality. No, it's like, let me help you. I don't want you to make those same battles and those same moments of trial and error. You don't need to do that.
Yeah.
And you know what? They're still going to do it. That's their choice, right? It's free will. But there was a reason why they had to experience that.
Yeah.
And, everything you're doing, and it's remarkable, and it's so great to see, because so many people get fixated just on their own kids. But there's other kids that don't have someone to look up to. I grew up in South Omaha. There was a lot of kids that didn't have dads, right? And they looked at my dad. My dad just hung out in the garage. We had a little garage that was separate from the house, and we had a basketball hoop on the thing, and it was wild because so many kids, I didn't understand at the time, but so many kids wanted to hang out in my house.
Yeah, me
on
too.
On the driveway, ride bikes, and we were skateboarding. My dad would build us ramps and all the things, right?
Yes, our dads are the same, bro. My dad's the same thing.
Yeah, they had a nickname for him. He was a redhead, so they called him Red. And like my dad loved it. And later to know what my dad's story was, now it made sense. But at the time I didn't understand it. And I was like, man, this is weird. Why do you guys want to hang out with my dad? I don't think he's the coolest. I mean, he's cool, but what you guys make him feel, he's like, wow, like he's really cool. And so it's because they were looking for that guidance and that mentorship. And I was just honored that they, same guy that I looked up to, they thought too was the same. And it's wild when we don't understand the impact we have today, right? We're looking at a forest, wall of trees, no path.
Exactly.
There's no trail, right? But we know at some point we're going to look back.
And everything's going to make sense.
Because we just took one foot in front of the other, right? That's the path.
Yeah.
With no clear direction, we make that direction. So I'm just really happy and condemn both of you for just
thank you.
What you guys accomplished with the youth and keep pushing. But Angel, man, thank you.
Thanks, brother.
Thank you, bro. Appreciate you for having me. Appreciate this time, man. Time flew.
Want to thank you for listening to Two Caring Gents. Well, real stories meet real people. Please subscribe, like, share, all the things. That only helps our channel and get that sense of empathy that's so important in our lives out. So thank you for listening. Until next week, take care.